I think the students came away with a much better sense of what's practical.
I think we're already starting to move forward in some ways.
And I just find behavior change to be a really important component of sustainability for students especially.
And that's just the beginning.
We were charged with trying to come up with a set of goals for the campus, and you could do it in the standard way of just turning over the operations people and ask them what should we do. But the Graham Institute had been pioneering this idea of integrated assessment that brings together multiple stakeholders, multiple disciplines, to have long conversations and deep conversations about the problem, involving as many different kinds of people as possible. So we put together these teams, 7 different teams, each one led by a faculty member. We had something on the order of 75 students doing a lot of the legwork, doing a lot of the technical analysis for those individual teams. Each team was also informed by early interactions with folks from the operations side of the house. And then during the second phase of the overall analysis, they worked side by side with the operations people to come up with new ideas, exciting ideas that students and faculty were really passionate about, but tempered by the reality that the operations people have to live with in terms of budget and timing and just technical capabilities.
I was on the energy team, the energy analysis team, and for the first phase, I helped out with wind energy benchmarking with comparable universities. So looking at other universities, and I actually made a database of all the different universities and what kind of wind facilities they had. In the second phase, I was responsible for the solar thermal model. So we tried to actually model a couple of recommendations that we wanted to make for the action plan and see what their economic cost-benefit analysis would be, where it would make sense to implement them, and exactly like how it would go about if we were to implement these things.
Food was identified as one of the 7 areas within the integrated assessment that they wanted to examine, and there's been really a groundswell of student and faculty and staff interest around, improving the quality of food, improving the connections to local producers, and thinking about, of course, issues of sustainability and waste reduction and things like this.
We decided that we could be unique here at the University of Michigan in terms of what we might do in the future. So after we did this initial work, we then essentially designed a program for getting at people's feelings, people's levels of awareness, knowledge about sustainability, and their activities.
I was on the culture team for both of these phases, and so the first phase I was more of a student liaison for the group, so we were evaluating what was going on at the University of Michigan in terms of the culture of sustainability. And then phase 2 was more about implementing one of our recommendations that they chose and prioritized, and so that was developing a set of cultural metrics in order to measure the culture of sustainability on campus.
We had the students working on the team, as well as we had quite a bit of input from through the website that there was, and then some of the town hall meetings that we had, where we presented some of our initial goals and heard their feedback, and that really helped us select our 5 recommendations that we came to. We also were very active in going to the Students' Sustainability Initiative and some of the other clubs on campus.
It's been really cool for me to get to interact with people in the plant and talking to people who are intimately involved in day-to-day operations and seeing what they worry about and what their major concerns are and where they're constrained. We talked to this one guy who has been trying to implement geothermal in the stadium area for a really long time, but he just never really had the time to do it, and so he was super excited to talk to us about when he heard that we were trying to design our own geothermal project.
I'm going to be working with the Graham Institute in doing a pilot survey, so moving forward with our recommendation of the survey design and really going into the actual implementation and trying to launch one for the students to take hopefully next year.
I'm really happy where we ended up. It's very different than we would have gotten if a bunch of students did it by themselves. It's also very different than what it would be like if the operations people did it by themselves. I think not only do we have a good, solid, comprehensive plan that cuts across all aspects of sustainability on campus, but because of the involvement of so many people on campus, the students, the faculty, and the staff, I think we have buy-in for the implementation of it, which is really most important.
Those that are into the whole issue of sustainability are very serious about it, very committed, and so forth. But we don't know the extent to which this is representative of the entire student body. And that's essentially the work that we're going to be doing, is to determine what that level of involvement, level of understanding is, and then monitor that over a period of 3 to 5 years. The university officials see it as important, see it as a way of contributing to the University of Michigan's role in this whole field, and helping to make us the leaders and best in this whole area of sustainability on campuses.